yang sebelah sana bau, Pak. Mantap. Oke, saya cobain lagi. Saya kira
cấp kiểu khó mình lấy của anh.
ada kopi yang dari Sumatera enak artinya.
Oke, tetap di urban street.
Ya udah closing. Akhir kata saya Oki Julia.
Saya Ubang sebagai campersnya.
Kita berdua harus pamit dari Urban Street Food.
Iya dong. Pamit. Jalan.
Udah nggak usah peduliin kamera. Kita ambil kopi lagi. Ayo kopi. Bodo amat kerja. Enak.
President Joko Widodo admits problems in the high-speed train project. Government seeks to develop nuclear power plants. Hello, good evening. It's Tuesday, January 18, 2022. Market Headlines is ready to provide you information from business and economic. And with me, Fajar Wayong. You're watching Market Headlines. And let's open up Market Headlines. The Central Statistics Agency noted that the total value of Indonesia's exports and imports throughout 2021 rose up to 40%. In terms of exports, the value reached 231.54 billion US dollar. The Central Statistics Agency or BPS noted that the total value of Indonesia's exports and imports throughout 2021 rose up to 40%. This figure is obtained from a comparison between export and import data in two different years, namely 2020 and 2021. In terms of exports, the value reached 231.54 billion US dollar, an increase of 41.88% in 2021. In 2020, the total value of exports only reached 163.19 billion US dollar.
Ekspor kita itu meningkat cukup tajam selama tahun 2021 kalau dibandingkan dengan 2020 ya. Meningkatnya 41,88% gitu ya. Sedangkan khusus untuk ekspor non-migas juga sama ya, bahwa selama tahun 2021 ekspor non-migas kita itu tercatat ya sebanyak atau sebesar 219,27 miliar US dollar. Jauh lebih tinggi atau meningkat dibanding tahun 2020 ya, yang meningkatnya sebesar 41,52% gitu ya.
Not only overall, the total value of non-oil and gas exports also increased by 41.52% from $154.94 billion in 2020 to $219.27 billion in 2021. In terms of imports, the total value of imports in 2021 rose 38.59%, or the equivalent of $196.2 billion. Imports of the non-oil and gas sector in the field of machinery or mechanical equipment and parts thereof dominated Indonesia's imports last year. IDX Channel reports. During inspection, President Joko Widodo admits problems in the high-speed train project. However, he is confident that the project will be completed in the end of 2022 and targeted to operate in June 2023.
Presiden Jokowi inspects the instructions of the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed rail project in Purwakarta, West Java. Based on the results of the inspection, Jokowi said that 79.9% of the constructions of the high-speed train project had been completed. With this achievement, Jokowi targets the high-speed train to operate in June 2023. This target is backwards from the previous operational target. Jokowi said the setback in the operations target occurred because the project was still experiencing problems. Currently, the constructions of the tunnel is still experiencing technical problems, especially in the tunnel 2.
Utamanya di terowongan 2 yang memang di sini ada masalah yang harus kita selesaikan, masalah teknis yang harus kita selesaikan. Terowongan yang kedua ini memang berjalannya agak lambat karena memang jenis tanah yang ada di sini memang memerlukan kerja yang penuh kehati-hatian. Sampai saat ini secara keseluruhan kereta cepat Jakarta-Bandung telah diselesaikan 79,9%, yang kita harapkan nantinya di akhir tahun 2022 ini sudah bisa diuji coba dan kemudian pada bulan Juni 2023 bisa kita operasionalkan.
Jokowi hopes that with the existence of this fast train, congestion in both Jakarta and Bandung can be reduced. In addition, fast trains are also expected to accelerate the mobility of people and goods. IDX Channel reports.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources noted that investment realization for the new renewable energy and energy conservation subsector did not meet the 2021 target. Meanwhile, the target for the domestic component level in the new renewable energy and energy conservation subsector in 2021 was all achieved, with bioenergy experiencing the largest increase. Regarding hydropower plants, the target for the domestic component level is 70%, with the realization of 76.71%. Furthermore, for geothermal, the target is 35%. The achievement is 38.97%. Meanwhile, for 2022, the ministry has set a new target for investment in the new renewable energy and energy conservation subsector to be double the previous target of $3.9 billion, or equivalent to 55.86 trillion rupiah.
Target di subsektor EPTKE di 2021 adalah 2,04 miliar US dollar dan capaiannya alhamdulillah meskipun tidak mencapai target, angkanya di 74% capaian 1,51 miliar US dollar. LTA untuk hidro tenaga air targetnya 70% dan capaiannya 76,71%. Kemudian untuk panas bumi targetnya 35%, capaiannya 38,97%. Kemudian untuk PLT bioenergi, baik ini biomasa, biogas, targetnya 40%, capaiannya 57,75%. Jadi dari sisi angka semuanya tercapai. Untuk TKDN, targetkan tahun ini adalah tahun dimulainya untuk pemanfaatan EBT dan konservasi energi. Targetnya adalah 3,9 miliar US dollar.
And we're moving on to global update. China's economy grew 4% in the final quarter of 2021. Meanwhile, International Labour Organization projects global employment will not recover to pre-pandemic levels until 2023. And more stories on today's International Minute. Global employment will not recover to pre-pandemic levels until at least 2023, with a projected shortfall in hours worked this year equivalent to 52 million full-time jobs, according to a report by the International Labour Organization, or ILO. While an improvement compared with 2021, hours worked globally are expected to remain 2% below levels seen before the arrival of COVID-19, according to the ILO's outlook for the 2022 released on Monday. China's economy grew 4% in the final quarter of 2021 to expand 8.1% year-on-year, amid stronger than expected industrial production in December, government data showed on Monday. Though coming in higher than the 3.6% growth predicted by analysts, the quarter 4 figure is the weakest growth the country has seen in a year and a half. Britain is supplying Ukraine with short-range anti-tank missiles for self-defense after Russia amassed about 100,000 troops on its border, the defense secretary said. Ben Wallace told MPS a small team of British troops would also be sent to Ukraine to provide training. He said there was legitimate and real cause for concern. The Russian troops could be used for an invasion. Russia denies any invasion plans and accuses the West of aggression. Tongans living overseas are facing an anxious wait for news of loved ones after a volcano triggered a tsunami. The underwater volcano erupted on Saturday about 65 kilometers north of the capital Nuku'alofa. The eruption, which was heard as far away as the US, caused waves higher than a meter to crash into Tonga. Local authorities have not confirmed any deaths, but communications are crippled, making it difficult to establish the scale of the destruction. IDX Channel reports.
Indonesian government seeks to develop nuclear power plants. Market headlines will be back.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources has formed
menyampaikan informasi terkini seputar ekonomi dan bisnis dari dalam negeri. Saksikan news screen setiap Senin sampai dengan Jumat pukul 14.30 waktu Indonesia Barat hanya di IDX Channel.
Kumpulan berita ekonomi dan bisnis dari dalam negeri. Senin sampai Jumat pukul 14.30 hanya di IDX Channel. Perbincangan hangat tentang isu dan kebijakan ekonomi terkini yang diulas secara mendalam bersama narasumber terpercaya. Senin sampai Jumat pukul 10 waktu Indonesia bagian Barat hanya di IDX Channel.
Saya Mangivera Tjong dan rekan saya Wicky Adrian hadir dalam Power Breakfast.
Awali hari Anda dengan informasi dunia ekonomi yang diulas dari berbagai sudut pandang.
Indeks harga saham gabungan konsisten.
Simak pula analisa pasar modal dan inspirasi bisnis dari berbagai perusahaan rintisan.
Tapi inovasi ini dilancarkan.
Power Breakfast, Senin sampai Jumat, pukul 8.00 hanya di IDX Channel.
Welcome back on Market Headlines. The Minister of SOEs believes that Indonesia will not use coal to produce electricity by 2060. Instead, the government will use renewable energy such as solar, geothermal, water and wind. Erick Thohir revealed that his party was pushing coal to be processed into gas to meet energy needs. For this reason, the government continues to accelerate the process of coal gasification in order to cut imports of LPG while increasing the national economy. However, this process certainly requires time and technology that must be prepared as early as possible.
Tapi harus dimulai dari sekarang. Karena kenapa? Toh batu bara 2060 sudah tidak terpakai lagi buat listrik. Karena kita akan memproduksi listrik dari matahari, dari geothermal, dari air, dari angin. Mumpung batu baranya masih bisa dipakai, ya kita gasifikasi untuk gas.
Meantime, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources has formed a preparation team for the development of nuclear power plants in Indonesia. Furthermore, the government had carried out various studies for the construction of nuclear power plants in Bangka Belitung and Kalimantan regions.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources has formed a preparation team for the development of nuclear power plants in Indonesia. According to him, the government has established international cooperation in building nuclear power plants for commercial purpose in Indonesia. He added that his party had also recorded several vendors and their technology for small-scale nuclear power plants. They then said this was in line with the target of the National Medium-Term Development Plan.
Sekarang sudah terbit keputusan Menteri ESDM untuk pembentukan tim terkait dengan persiapan penyusunan NEPIO. Ya. Jadi persiapan untuk penyusunan kelembagaan dari pengembangan pembangkit listrik tenaga nuklir. Kemudian satu, telah dilakukan pendataan terhadap beberapa vendor ya, khususnya PLTN yang skala kecil, termasuk dengan teknologinya. Dan ini sejalan dengan target yang ada di RPJM.
He also revealed that the government had carried out various studies related to plans for the constructions of nuclear power plants in the Bangka Belitung and Kalimantan regions. However, until now, the government has not indicated the location for the constructions of the nuclear power plant. IDX Channel reports.
The Ministry of Religion emphasized that the departure of Umrah pilgrims from Indonesia would not be stopped. However, the government ensures that the departure of Umrah pilgrims will continue to apply the One Gate policy scheme.
The Ministry of Religion emphasized that the departure of Umrah pilgrims from Indonesia would not be stopped. The ministry ensures that the departure of Umrah pilgrims will continue to apply the One Gate policy scheme. The Minister of Religion Yakut Holil Komas believes that the departure of the Umrah pilgrims is still going according to schedule because until now there is no law that prohibits people from traveling abroad, including performing the Umrah pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia.
Tidak ada pemberhentian umroh, tetapi ini ada komunikasi publik yang agak salah tangkap gitu ya. Jadi bukan umrohnya yang diberhentikan, tetapi One Gate policy-nya yang dihentikan per 15 Januari. Karena dianggap sudah bisa dijalankan tanpa One Gate policy. Tetapi saya sudah minta Pak Dirjen, tidak boleh dihentikan, tetap One Gate policy dulu. Jangan kemudian di masing-masing daerah bisa terbang sendiri-sendiri.
As it is known, Indonesian Umrah pilgrims departed for the first time on January 8, 2022. As of January 15, a total of 1,731 Umrah pilgrims have departed for Saudi Arabia, and of these 400 pilgrims have returned to Indonesia. IDX Channel reports.
The Indonesian Employers Association of Jakarta, or Apindo Jakarta, has officially filed a lawsuit against Jakarta Governor Anies Baswedan over the revision of the 2022 provincial minimum wage. Apindo demand Anies declare the gubernatorial decree number 1517 of 2021 on 2022 provincial minimum wage dated December 16, 2021, null and void, as read in the lawsuit from the Jakarta Administrative Court website on Monday, January 1st. Anies issued the gubernatorial decree number 1517 of 2021, noting that this year's Jakarta minimum wage would increase by 5.1% from the 2021 to 4.64 million rupiah. This regulation is a revision of the previous gubernatorial decree which stipulated that the 2022 minimum wage would only be increased by 0.85%. Apindo also asked Anies to revoke the regulations and reenact gubernatorial decree 1395 of 2021 Jakarta Apindo Deputy Chairperson Nur Jaman said that the businessman's lawsuit against the Jakarta government was not intended to attack Anies Baswedan, but rather to obtain legal certainty. Telkom allocates 2022 capital expenditure for mobile network development. Right after the break, stay tuned.
IDX First Session Closing Market, Senin sampai Jumat pukul 11.30 hanya di IDX Channel.
Ya halo pemirsa, nama saya Mangivera Tjong. Saat ini saya menjabat sebagai presenter dan juga associate producer. Saat ini saya membawakan program IDX First Session Closing, di mana di program tersebut saya menganalisa isu-isu ekonomi yang menarik, baik dari luar negeri maupun juga dari dalam negeri. Tentunya hingga saat ini saya masih terus belajar dan saya sangat menikmati profesi tersebut.
Melarang keras pengusaha dan perusahaan untuk melakukan ekspor batubara ke luar negeri.
Kumpulan berita ekonomi dan bisnis dari dalam negeri.
Ini mutlak. Jangan sampai dilanggar dengan alasan apapun.
Mengungkap fakta dan data perekonomian secara mendalam.
Dunia kinerjanya akan sangat dipengaruhi oleh manage pandemi ini.
Senin sampai Jumat pukul 14.30 hanya di IDX Channel.
You're watching Market Headlines. At the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement, earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 6,659.8 and then approaching the closing time on the first session. The index was on the level of 6,551.17 and then the index was showing weakening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 6,614.05. And in short, Jakarta Composite Index went down 0.47%. And next, we're going to see the sectoral movement leading the dynamics of today's trading. We got technology went down 2.71%. Transportation and logistics went down 2.29%. Cyclic went down 0.36%. And finance sector went down 0.08%. And moving on to top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading session. Arto went up 1.21% to the level of 18,875 rupiah. Telkom went up 1.67% to the level of 4,250 rupiah. Bank Mandiri went up 0.69% to the level of 7,250. And Alo Bank Indonesia went up 4.44% to the level of 5,875 rupiah. And meantime, the top losers for today's trading, we got Bank Sentral Asia went down 0.97% to the level of 7,675 rupiah. Bank Rakyat Indonesia went down 0.48% to the level of 4,190 rupiah per share. Adaro Energy went down 1.77% to the level of 2,220 rupiah per share, and Aneka Tambang went down 4.04% to the level of 1,780 rupiah per share. And next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Open at the level of 14,309, rupiah showing strengthening trend towards US dollar, and it was closed at the level of 14,230. In summary, rupiah went up 0.75%. Telkom Indonesia allocates capital expenditure this year around 25% of total revenue, or it is estimated around 26.5 trillion rupiah.
Telkom Indonesia allocates capital expenditure this year around 25% of total revenue. When considering the realization of income until the third quarter of 2021, the allocation for capital expenditure in 2022 is 26.5 trillion rupiah.
Vice President of Corporate Communication Telkom, Pujo Pramono, said that the capital expenditure allocation in 2022 will be used for mobile network development and IT enhancement, to then increase the fixed broadband business and develop the tower business. In addition to building broadband infrastructure and telecommunication towers, Telkom is also intensively developing digital platforms and digital services as value-added, which is the company's core business. IDX Channel reports. Adhikarya is aiming for a growth in the acquisition of new contracts of around 20 to 25% in 2022. Supported by a shift in new contracts in 2021, Adhikarya is aiming for a growth in the acquisition of new contracts of around 20% to 25% in 2022. In addition, with economic conditions recovering and the COVID-19 pandemic being more controlled, the company is also optimistic to achieve new contract targets and financial performance. In an official statement, Adhikarya's corporate secretary Farid Budianto said that this year, Adhikarya is targeting the acquisition of new contracts in 2022, amounting to 24 trillion to 28 trillion rupiah. In order to achieve this target, this year the company will target road projects, buildings, and other infrastructure projects such as irrigation. Meanwhile, by targeting an increase in new contracts, Adhikarya also recorded the realization of new contracts in 2021 of 15.2 trillion rupiah. IDX Channel reports. Meantime, Sawit Sumber Masarana targets sales of 5.47 trillion rupiah this year. To achieve this target, the company is ready to produce 566,000 tons of crude palm oil. The corporate secretary of Sawit Sumber Masarana, Swasti Kartikaning Tias, said the target was in line with the forecast for good weather this year and supported the harvest of oil palm fruit in accordance with a 5-year crop harvest cycle. The company has also budgeted a capital expenditure of 600 billion rupiah to support its business plan in 2022. With this strategy, the company is optimistic that the sales target will be achieved, as well as the increase in net profit. Currently, the company is still waiting for its 2021 full-year financial report after being audited, so it is still reluctant to provide details of the net profit it is aiming for in 2022. The company managed to make a positive performance until the end of September 2021, and during that period, the company's net profit soared 286.38% to 1.03 trillion rupiah, while revenue rose 35%. And stepping aside from market condition, as the efforts in achieving herd immunity is still going on, here it is another data about COVID-19 vaccinations in Indonesia. And the news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business, and capital market channel. I'm Fajar Wayong. Have a nice evening. Stay healthy.
Ya halo pemirsa, nama saya Mangivera Tjong. Saat ini saya menjabat sebagai presenter dan juga associate producer. Saat ini saya membawakan program IDX Session Closing, di mana di program tersebut saya menganalisa isu-isu ekonomi yang menarik, baik dari luar negeri maupun juga dari dalam negeri. Tentunya hingga saat ini saya masih terus belajar dan saya sangat menikmati profesi tersebut.
PT Adalom Indonesia Terdekatkan
Informasi penutupan pasar saham terbaru hari ini.
Harga penawaran umum perdana saham atau IPO Bagaimana Anda melihat
diulas secara
pergerakan
interaktif
indeks harga
bersama
saham
pemirsa
gabungan
di rumah,
sepanjang perdagangan
juga
hari
para
ini?
analis
Untuk saat ini
terpercaya.
sebenarnya posisi ISG sebenarnya sudah masih dalam tren yang sideways. Sepekan ke depan saya pikir potensi di untuk sampai
Second
dengan
session
di
closing.
6.600 itu sangat
Senin
terbuka.
sampai Jumat pukul 15.00 hanya di IDX Channel.
Melarang keras pengusaha dan perusahaan untuk melakukan ekspor batubara ke luar negeri.
Kumpulan berita ekonomi dan bisnis dari dalam negeri.
Ini mutlak. Jangan sampai dilanggar dengan alasan apapun.
Mengungkap fakta dan data perekonomian secara mendalam.
Dunia kinerjanya akan sangat dipengaruhi oleh manage pandemi ini.
Senin sampai Jumat pukul 14.30 hanya di IDX Channel.